Man, yo, what's been going on?
Oh yeah. Man, I just been chilling. Hold on, let me check my internet, man. Am I coming through good?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
you
we
are.
can see you. Are we cutting out?
Nah, it was lagging at first. I think it's cool now. It's probably cool. Nah, I've been chilling, man. I just been doing a lot of, got a couple businesses, and my girls playing tennis and stuff like that, and basketball. And, I'm always doing something. I'm always working behind the
Yeah.
scenes.
How old are your girls now?
My oldest is 8, and then my twins, they're 5.
They getting
I
old,
didn't
man.
realize you had twins.
Yeah, yeah.
God bless you, sir.
They
Full house, man. Full house.
Man, I got one, and I think that's a lot, you know?
well, all right, hang on. So we got NBA vet Brandan Wright on the show with us today. Brandon, I appreciate you coming on, man. Been trying to get you on for a while. Thank you. Well, let's just get started with that. You just mentioned you said you got a couple businesses. You just been chilling. Are you done playing?
Yeah, I'm probably done, man. I'm always staying fit and healthy and you know in good shape. Cardio is always good, but I think I'm probably done. But I gotta be able to keep up with my girls, so
Right.
I can't slide. I
Right.
can't slide. Even though I'm in my mid 30s now, I still gotta be able to keep up.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Well,
before
so
we get into questions, hey, I gotta tell my coolest Be Right story, all right?
all right.
So, Brandon, I don't know if I told you this when we were working out that one time. I didn't come very often because I'm cheap. But could have is the answer to that. But so Brandon Wright, when he was in high school, if you didn't know, Nashville basketball, Brandon Wright was Nashville basketball. I mean, that's just who he was. So my brother played at BGA, and we were playing. I want to say it was in the regular season at BGA, and it was your sophomore year, and you were warming up, and me and my buddy were over there on the sideline trying to get your high five. And you went out, or it might have been my buddy, and I was standing up. I was too shy to probably do it. And he gets a high five from Brandon Wright, and he goes, "I'm never washing this hand ever again." I had to be like 9 at the time. That's probably my coolest Brandon Wright story right there. And that's not even like you playing, dude. I mean, obviously, incredible basketball player. We'll get to that, but that I had to say that just to start the podcast.
Man, that's it seems like yesterday, but it was a long time ago. So that just tells you how old we're getting.
Man, hey, I feel same.
And it goes fast, man. We are getting old quick. I mean, we're getting old quick. I feel it. I know it. Man, I want to ask you, like, so what does life look like for Brandon Wright post basketball?
Man, I kind of touched on it a little bit. It's a lot of family stuff. I have my 3 girls, and then I know you guys know about Team Brandon Wright.
Yep.
That's a big thing that we've been doing for. I think we're getting close on 10 years now. So, rising 7th grader to rising 12th graders, all girls program, AAU travel ball, whatever you want to call it. We out there on the circuit, working hard. Spencer Richardson, Jamal Malone, Jamal Richardson, those guys are doing a lot of good work with our girls. And the goal is, is just to get them in college and get them on an opportunity to get a scholarship. College tuition is expensive. It's not the road you want to go down. Be staring at tens of thousands of dollars of debt. When you're a 22-year-old, 23-year-old. So,
right.
If we could train these girls up to use their athletic ability and their talents to get a free education, we feel like we've done our job. So that's been huge. That's the main thing focusing on right now, just pouring back into the girls in our community, and the foundation is taking off. All those things take up a lot of time, and we love what we've been doing in the community.
Yeah. And I have a question. Go on that. What was it your daughters that made you want to do an all girls Brandon Wright, or have you ever thought about adding guys to your organization as well?
You know what? it really wasn't even my daughters. It was kind of like Spencer Richardson. He was already in the game on the girls circuit. He was already doing his thing with that. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we kind of talked about it for about 3 or 4 years, and I kind of told him, I was like, all right, you know, give me a little time. Let me move some chess pieces behind the scenes. Let me get this thing ready, and then boom, we just took off. You know, the program has grown. You know, it's safe to say I think we're one of the best, you know, travel programs in the Southeast, if not in the country. But you know, as far as boys, and I get that question a lot. I always say,
I'm not even original. God, crap.
Maybe. I'm just saying, you know, because it is a hot question. Like, you should do boys. You know, the answer right now is no, but maybe in the future. You know, we kind of, you know, our people have kind of jumped on the Mookie Betts team. Mookie Betts, he has his AAU program, so we would like to see that boys. We would like to see that boys program take off in Nashville, and you know, without competition or anything like that, we want to see them do their thing.
Yeah, that's
fair enough. That's because they're nasty, dude. They're nasty.
Yeah. Well, and even
it's a young program. You know, this year was second year. They're growing. They're going to get better and better. I mean, you know, hopefully by 2030 they'll be like one of the premier programs in the country.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, even you know, because you've been doing it, so the women's the pool of women for women's basketball in Nashville is like it's a huge spot. For a while, you probably got more high level girls coming from Nashville than you did than you did for guys. You know, at least in terms of sheer numbers. And so, man, yeah, and y'all, you know, y'all hit at the right time. Y'all been doing that for a while. Y'all were able to get in there early on. So
I would also say this, Asa, about Mookie Betts though, is Nashville's grown a ton during that time.
Certainly.
And I might be crazy, but if Team Brandan Wright was around in 2012-13, I think Team Nashville might have been Team Brandan Wright, if I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible, man. But I know it's just.
I'm not trying to speak anything.
It's so much going on the boys' side, man. I mean, I just don't want to touch it. And if I had a son, maybe, you know, it'd be different. But you know, I don't have the passion I would even say I don't have the energy to deal with that, you know, what's going on,
sure,
you know, on that side. You know, it's a big time business. You know, it's kind of getting away from the actual game on the court. You know, it's all about the other stuff off the court, which is it's cool. Agree. It's part of it. It's part of the growth. But at the same time, you know, 14, 15, 16 years old. All right, let's get to, you know, that Division I school first. Let's get to the NBA before you start, you know, acting like you're already there. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is there a lot? There's probably a little too much of that going on right now, right? I was listening to Jay-Z's Kevin Hart interview the other day. Jay-Z did one, and he said something in that interview. He said, you know, don't fall in love with the announcement. And that was of all the things he said in that 2-hour interview. Don't fall in love with the announcement was the thing that kind of stuck out to me. And now it seems to me that like people want to be the person that's making a documentary about themselves as opposed to being the dude that people want to make a documentary about because they're too falling in love with the announcement. They're getting too far ahead of themselves.
Yeah, process is not as important.
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
Yeah, you know, and it's, you know, it's tough too because it's different these days. You know, it's social media, and you know, people are able to prop you up and show your talents online, you know, better than ever before. But it's kind of gotten to the point, and this is in all aspects of, you know, not just sports, and like life in general. You know, once you get that recognition, it might be, you know, it's kind of like that's the, you know, that's the pinnacle for a lot of people. And, you know, a lot of people stop, you know, doing, like you said, the process, stop doing what got them there in the first place. And like you said, you know, you don't want to be the guy behind the camera. You want to be the guy that people are looking through the camera and talking about it and, you know, hearing that story.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
So, all right, well then, so let's talk about that then. You know, you and I wanted to get to kind of this anyway with you. I want to kind of get to professionalism because you carried yourself in such a way where, you know, everything that was going into your body, you knew where it came from, what it was made of. anytime you on
That's
the court,
dog food, but yeah, keep going.
anytime you went on the court, you were always playing with. You never shot with anything but an NBA ball. It's always an NBA ball. A guy, Brentwood Academy, McDonald's All-American, UNC, one and done draft pick. Like you kept your head through that whole thing. And the moment was it never got to your head ever. It didn't show in the way you played. It didn't show in your personality. You didn't have an ego like that. How did you keep your head through, reaching all those, what a lot of people would call pinnacles?
Yeah, I think it's just, you got to give credit to the people that are around me. And, it's a lot of people to thank. You got to start with my parents and my brothers. We just kept that solid foundation. They gave us support and we gave each other support, but we also kept each other accountable. Good job when you do great things, but also let's do that better. And I don't even talk about completely basketball. I'm talking about life, talking about school. Everything has to be well-rounded. You cannot have the scales tipped in one way or another. You got to be a well-rounded person. And, that stuff is actually kind of translated well to me, after basketball, which has been good. But, those things, that's how you last for a long time. You keep that, you keep that solid base, you keep that foundation. You're not all over the place. And I think that'll take you far. I always credit a lot of people credit me because I've had great discipline in my life and my career with no matter what I do. When I want to do something, I stick to it. I stay solid to it. I work hard at it, and the results usually come.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, I'm gonna shift subjects just a tad. We're gonna stay on the basketball front, obviously. But tell me about when did you start getting into basketball? When did you decide, okay, this might be something that I could go forward with? And then if you even want to transition into your BA experience, you can go for that as well.
No, we kind of even talked about it beforehand. So growing up, I started playing baseball, basketball, and football at age 4. And I played all 3 of those sports up until age 14. And then I decided to, go ahead and, stick with basketball. I started getting taller, I'm becoming more and more dominant. And, you talk about that, the accolades and, social media and all those things start coming around and, people tell you that you have a great future. So, we made a decision as a family and myself to go ahead and stick with basketball. And, it was kind of because everyone was telling, oh, you're going to be in the NBA, you're going to be in the NBA, you're going to go to a great college, whatever, how it goes. It was kind of a, take it.
I don't, but keep going.
One day at a time type of thing. You read plenty of stories about, all kind of individuals, but it was kind of and it sounds kind of a simple and cliche, but I really took it one day at a time. I didn't really get too far ahead of myself. I think when you get too far ahead of yourself, you start going down paths that are so unknown. You put pressure on yourself in a negative way. So it was just a one day at a time thing. Like, all right, freshman year, these are my goals. Sophomore year, this is what I want to do. And the growth continued. And, McDonald's All-American and Mr. Basketballs. And, I get to go pretty much pick wherever I want to go to school. It was kind of a one day at a time thing. I kind of stayed in the moment and didn't get too far ahead of myself. And, I think that served me well.
Man, so let's so picking where you go to school. You told me one time, I think, North Carolina was always your school. I heard Roy Williams came to watch you at Brentwood Academy one time. And this just goes to show you, you never know, not that you never know who's watching, but sometimes when you're playing in front of somebody, you only have a little bit amount of time to make an impression. I heard that Roy was at Brentwood Academy, for half. He didn't even stay for the whole game. He saw what he needed to see, I guess. And what I'm getting at is, like, getting to North Carolina, playing for Roy with all that history, what was kind of your big takeaway from Roy? What did he harp on every day, when y'all went in practice, we were in the film session? What was like kind of your biggest takeaway from playing with him, playing under him, excuse me?
Man, that whole period, and I always tell people this, that whole period right there was like a straight blur, just because
Really?
I got to campus, and we go through condition. You know how it is. We go through condition. You both play college basketball. We're playing pickup. All right, we in September now. All right, now we move to October. All right, season getting close. We got to start practice. Boom. We're in November. I'm starting as a true freshman. Having a great season, playing well. All right, a starter on a top 5 team basically all year. We end up getting a number 1 seed. I end up winning freshman of the year, MVP of the ACC tournament. We make it to the Elite Eight. Boom, it's over. I mean, it was literally that quick. And it's one of those things where I wish I could have, would have, kind of enjoyed it more, or I definitely enjoyed it, but it was too fast. It's basically a 9-month span from me graduating at Brentwood Baptist Church from VA to me declaring for the draft in May, or whenever the cutoff day was. That it was that quick as a snap of a finger. So all that was great. It was fun. It was a lot of highs and lows, and I feel like we should have, probably won the whole thing. But that was such a crazy period. I enjoyed every second of it. But like I said, it's one of those things like, dang, I wish I could have stayed a little longer. But business is business.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make, correct decisions for yourself and your family, and you got to be smart about it. But man, it was a fun time, but it was a quick time. I wish I would have had just a little bit longer.
How hard was that decision to go pro?
It wasn't hard at all. It wasn't hard. I mean, I had to do it. I had to do it. And you got to do the right things. You have to make the right decisions. It was no point of going back. I mean, obviously we can go back and win a national championship, or I can go win ACC Player of the Year. But when your draft stock is, you're already projected top 10. How much more can you go? They, how it is with the analysts. They're just gonna continue to pick you apart anyway. It's the farther and the older you. It was one of those things where I had to go ahead and do it, and it was like I said, it was a crazy time. It was a blur, but it was so fun. I wouldn't trade for anything.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Give us the kind of the draft process experience. I mean, it was 7th overall, right? 7th overall, and to Charlotte, and then
8th.
8th overall to Charlotte, and then you get traded to the Warriors. Just kind of that. I'm sure that happened. That all that just like everything else has been happening quick. Just give us the draft process experience.
And it was crazy because I didn't know what was going on. So you only do that one time. You never do that again. So every player that goes through that's the only time you're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna do it again. So it's one of those things where you're traveling all over the country. You meeting teams, you're working out, you're meeting with psychologists, you're meeting with doctors, you are working out with head coaches, you're talking to current players, you're talking to former players, you're talking to general managers, you're meeting owners. It was crazy. So you do a lot of workouts. And I was on the light side of the workouts. I mean, I know guys that did 30, 35 workouts before. And, I think I did like 6 or 7. I didn't do many at all. I basically worked out for all the top 10 teams. So that part was crazy. And then, so the day before the draft, or 2 days before the draft, my agent calls me. He said, hey, Phoenix wants you to come down to fly to Phoenix, come work out. And I was like, for what? I was like, they don't even, they didn't even have a top 10 pick at the time. He was like, well, yeah, they said they might trade into the top 10. They really, really like you. You want to fly to Phoenix? I was like, yeah, let's go do it. So it was crazy. I don't know if you guys remember Al Thornton that played at Florida State, and he got drafted by the Clippers.
Yeah.
It was just me and him in the workout, and it was crazy because we played each other. We had already played each other 3 times in a year, and I knew his game, he knew my game. It was just us 2 in the workout, and it was crazy because they had us playing like full court 1-on-1. It was one of the craziest workouts I've ever seen. We went in, did a couple drills. Yeah, exactly. Full court 1-on-1, just me and him. That's it. But it was crazy because we did a couple drills, got loose, and then like, all right, guys, let's play. And we played full court 1-on-1 for about 20 minutes. It was just up and down, back and forth. That was one of the crazy experiences ever. And we flew out. We flew out together because he got invited to the green room also. And we got to New York at like 6 a.m. in the morning because our flight was delayed. So basically, I got to New York at 6 a.m. on draft day, basically no sleep, draft day, and all the stuff going on. Because draft day, it's not chill. You got meetings and all kind of stuff going on. It's not like, you're not just sitting in a hotel waiting. You're doing media obligations. You're, getting your suit fitted and make sure it's cool. You're doing, talking to different teams, teams that maybe possibly going to trade up. You're doing all kind of, you're talking to your family, they want to know where you think you're going to go. And, you're talking to your agent. Yeah. So it's a long, crazy, exhausting process, but like, it's fun. It's one of those things that only a certain amount of people get to do, and you have no experience of doing that because you're never going to do it again after that.
Dude, all right, I gotta interrupt. Asa, I said I was gonna let you rock. I'm apparently lying because this is so cool right now. All right, so you're playing one-on-one, all right, full court. That seems absolutely ludicrous to me. Now, obviously, these guys that are smarter than me that have you doing this. How did AAG, All Around Game, Spencer, Jamal, how did they help you prepare for a possible workout like this?
So back then, I wasn't even with those guys. I did all my training at North Carolina.
Okay.
And I trained with a guy named Edon Ravine for a little bit. And then I trained with another guy who was a former assistant coach. And I was just bouncing around, whatever trainers. But I mean, you can't prepare for that. You might do that every now and then. You might do that like in high school, all right, let's play, and all right, you want to be dumb, let's just play. Let's go up and down. It was crazy just because, we like I said, they had seen plenty of film on us because when we played each other, we guarded each other. So it wasn't like they didn't have enough film on us, particularly, our teams playing against each other. And we, like I said, we guarded each other. So it was it was nothing they didn't have on film. I guess they just wanted to test us. And at the time, Steve Kerr was the GM, I think. So it was him and I think Vinny Del Negro was there also. So it was one of those things where they were like, all right, let's go. I think they kind of wanted to test us and just see, how we were acting. It is what it is. At the end of the day, ball is ball. You get to throw the ball up and you just play.
Yeah. I mean, the reason I was asking was because I think All Around Game does such a good job. Jamal and Richardson, they do such a good job of emphasizing handling the ball and conditioning and all in the same. And I was asking if it correlated because you said that obviously you had not worked with them a ton beforehand. But was that part of why they changed it? Did you have any say in, hey, listen, this is what an NBA workout looked like. I don't know why they did it, but hey, listen, I'm just telling you for the future.
Man, to be honest, that was the only time I ever played full court one-on-one was that in that particular workout. Now you might play like, you might catch at the top of the 3-point line or the free throw line, or you might work the Jordan post, or you might work the wing. But the full court one-on-one, I mean, that's something different. But like you said, those guys, I always tell people about Jamal and Spencer, what they do, and even Jamal Malone, who's part of our team now also. Mm-hmm. We know how to make players better. And Asa can attest for this. I mean, all we do is get in the gym and work. We try to cut out all the nonsense. We try to cut out all the other stuff. We're going to set our times. We're going to get in the gym. We're going to work hard. That's it. The rest of it is on you. So if you show up 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to get better.
Dude, I'm just – this is just a statement, and Asa to take over. If I were to go back, I don't have any regrets about my college career. I mean, I think I maximized my little short self as much as I could. But at the same time, I absolutely respect the crap out of Jamal and Spencer. And I think they do an absolutely incredible job. And I mean, anybody listening in the Nashville area, hit them up. Don't be late to the party because I mean, they really, really, really help improve every single person they work with.
They do. And the cool thing, about that is, Brandon, you think that a lot of NBA dudes, they don't want to get in the gym with like, a high school junior or senior or, even maybe a lower level college player. Like that never mattered to you. You only wanted people around. You wanted people around that wanted to get in the gym. And that's
it.
Yeah, I thought it was so cool because, again, as a high school kid, you think that he's the NBA dude. He probably don't want me in the gym with him. But you were always so welcoming. And like I said, if somebody wanted to be in the gym, then cool, come on, work. Let's do it. Let's do it together.
Yeah, I learned that too. So I went to the Jordan camp when I was 15 years old. So I'm on the court with guys like Darren Williams, Jared Jack, Ronnie Turioff. Like, I mean, these guys all. I mean, it was like 12 NBA players there, and I was one of the few high school guys there. And they're like, "Come on, let's go." They wanted me to come work out with them. So, I kind of learned that at an early age. Doesn't matter what the age you are. It doesn't matter, what skill level you are. If those guys are willing to do that for me, those are all American type of guys, and they all end up getting drafted themselves. So come on, let's go, let's work. That's all we know. That's all we know. Everyone has a goal, a dream, or a destination they want to get to. You just run your own race. And that's why I like kind of like telling people that you do your own thing. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Your colleague might be hitting 39% from three. You might be at 32, but that has nothing to do with what you're trying to do right now. You're trying to improve yourself. You're running your own race. So yeah, I love just anybody who wanted to play and anybody who wanted to get in the gym. And I like getting up early and getting it out the way. I like first thing you do in the morning, let's get it out the way, and then you think about it. Let's get ready for again tomorrow.
Same, man. Hey, I'm old. All I do is lift weights now, and I wake up at 4:55 every single morning to go lift because I just gotta go get a workout in, or else I'm not myself. Dude, that's freaking awesome, and that speaks to who you are too, Brandon. Like the fact that you have such a growth mindset to where you're willing to listen. I mean, there's a lot of kids out there, and there's a lot of professionals still that would have looked at a person like Jarrett Jack. Okay, he's phenomenal NBA player, phenomenal player. I believe at Georgia Tech. I mean, I remember watching Jarrett Jack film. I mean, I'm a little basketball junkie, obviously. Didn't help me enough, but like might look at a Jarrett Jack be like, okay, well, he's not at the pinnacle of the NBA. But you have this mindset that you can learn from anybody. And so it just shows by the way you speak. So I just wanted to, encourage you in that. It's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, when you say early morning, Brandon, I mean, me and Brandon, I used to meet Brandon at Dimple's Deli at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
6 a.m.
I think they may have flipped that restaurant a couple times. Yeah, that was the go-to spot because that was the only place that was kind of open in that early in the morning. Now they have all kind of places open at 6 o'clock or whatever, but that was the only place that was open that we can get some food. So I'm always up. I'm still up and at it. I like to do my like I said, I don't get up as early as you, Nathan, but I can't. I used to, but I kind of pushed it back a little bit. My clock used to be set for 4:45. Now I'm around 5:30 now, so it's not as crazy. If I gotta get something done, though, I'll set it for before 5.
Yeah, mine's at 4:55. That way I can wake up, work out, come home, take my kid to daycare, and then start work. So that's kind of why I have to go a little bit earlier. Trust me, I don't. Everybody that says they love waking up that early, they're lying to you. I promise you, it's not like I enjoy waking up at 4:55.
I mean, to be honest, I like doing that, man.
Yeah. But not at 4:55, Brandon.
I like
Brandon. It's great because you have the whole rest of your day in front of you. Absolutely. It does something to my mind. Yeah. But 4:55 is like, man, it's tough every single morning. I can't lie to you.
Yeah, but you get that quiet and you get that alone time and you get that, I like to get up and get stuff done. 100%. And then because I know at like 6:30 my girls are gonna be, I can hear those feet, So if you get up and get it done, that's the way to go. But every successful person I know usually gets up before the sun comes up. I mean, I just leave it at that.
As we're getting back on, my fantasy football draft is starting like this moment. So, and I have the first pick, in a snake draft. So, Brandon, I got to go Jonathan Taylor. I can't overthink this, right?
No. Don't overthink it. You got to go running back.
Where am I supposed to run back?
It's just if you want to be a safe guy, go JT. If you want to shoot for the stars, go JJ this year.
Just Jefferson?
If you want to shoot for the stars, he can have one.
I'm doing it because I
want. No. Are you in a PPR?
I don't care. I'm doing it.
Dude, in a PPR, you got to go running back. Okay, well, hey, listen to this, all right? If you took him, go Saquon Barkley in the second round if he's still available.
Yeah, that's fine. I did it. I wanted to do Jefferson. I did it. Where is
He can still build a nice team. I actually should have talked about that too. We could talk about that. I'm probably in like 25 leagues, literally.
You're in 25 leagues?
25 leagues. I mean, I like gambling, so I might as well gamble on something I like. I can control instead of like actually like gambling on like a game or something like that. Now I like to build it up. I like to build up something and win and say I did it. If the Titans, Titans win by 10 or Titans win by 6 and I lose money, I'm gonna be upset. So.
But man, I want to keep talking. I want some stories, kind of like who were some guys in the league that like players that you felt like you could lean on. I know you and Wayne Ellington were really cool, being North Carolina guys. Who were kind of some guys in the league that were also playing at the same time you were, that you could kind of lean on, maybe an accountability partner, something of that nature? Or is it even like that in the league?
But yeah, it's like that. Guys have their guys, and I can go down a couple avenues on this. So our North Carolina crew is pretty tight overall, and this goes from all generations. This goes from from James Worthy to the guys that are the Baycocks to my generation to the everywhere. We got a huge WhatsApp, man. Any player, any alum, part of the program. If you want to be on there, you can be on. I think we have over 100 and some guys. Stack is on there. Vince Carter's on there. Yeah, I mean, y'all should, because you got to keep that. You got to keep that brotherhood, that cohesiveness, and you never know where these things will take you. Somebody might get a job opportunity. Someone might need to hire a coach. Someone might need a size 15 shoe for a kid that needs it, whatever. But I think a person that I kind of was pretty close with, and I played with him I played with him in Dallas and in Memphis, was Vince Carter. He was he's always been a great vet to me. It's kind of crazy when I tell people that, because you think of Vince Carter, like you think of something that you can't touch, literally. It's like that aura. I mean, we all remember the Boeing commercials and his slam dunk contest and his all I have, man, amazing stuff. That's part of him, but that's not who he is as a person. Like when you get to know him one-on-one, he's down to earth, family man, loves the game of basketball, still in it. That was the guy that I really, one of the guys I leaned on, throughout my career. We played together 6 years, 7 years, which was kind of crazy. I would never think I would get to play with a type of guy like him. Even though it was at the end of his career, I still learned a lot from him. And what's crazy, me and Tucker and I, we just went to Miami for a surprise birthday party for Jeff Green. So I got to see a lot of guys that I hadn't seen in 3-4 years.
I saw that. Mike Conley was down there. Was Mike Conley down there too?
Yeah. Mike was there. Beno Udre was there. James Johnson, Darrell Arthur, Will Barton. Who else? Anybody else? Courtney Lee was there. A lot of us Memphis guys that played in Memphis together. So that was a cool event. That stuff doesn't happen unless you have some type of closeness and connectivity with the families and the kids. Otherwise you just kind of do your thing and go on. But that was cool. He was pretty surprised. It was a Fresh Prince themed party. I don't know if you've seen the pictures or not.
Yeah, I did see those. I did see those.
Yeah, it was a cool event, man, and it was just good to see some guys that you hadn't seen in a long time. So those are the type of things that that you can't fathom you would get going into this. You don't. You can't even make it up. You think he's like, okay, that'll never happen. But like I said, 10, 15 years later, you still cool with these guys. Now everyone has families. Everyone has young kids. Guys are getting older. We're talking about certain things, and we what are you going to do next? It's kind of cool, kind of a cool process overall.
Yeah, I mean, kind of the thing that you just talked about is basically what you kind of hear outside of it, and you obviously probably heard a lot of it, is the fraternity of the NBA. And I have a question regarding that is, so people from the outside that haven't been in the NBA obviously look at the NBA as celebrities, which they should. I mean, they're some of the biggest time athletes in the world. But how normal are you guys? I mean, you guys are just typical human beings that have a job. Now, obviously, you guys are the best at what you do. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, at least talking to you and talking to other NBA players that I've gotten to talk to, and you guys are good, down-to-earth, normal people if you just take the time and get to know the actual person instead of trying to get whatever from whatever.
Yeah, well, most of the time, what you see on the screen is just them at that moment of they're actually doing what they're good at, their job. You don't get to meet the person, and you don't get to know who they actually are. Just think about if we came to, went to someone's office or went to some, we put a camera on you, while you guys are coaching, and just that's all we see, and that's how we kind of paint our picture of you. That's the kind of life we live. That's part of it. It's an entertainment business, and it is a big business. But most of the time, the guys are really down to earth and personable and nice to talk to. And, people are people. You get the rotten eggs and people that you're not gonna like. But for the most part, the fraternity is really tight knit. It's a lot of things that go on you would never even know about just because we keep everything in house and you gotta respect that brotherhood.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I kind of spread it out into multiple parts. Go into that fraternity a little bit more. Obviously, not the parts that you're not supposed to tell. Obviously, not the parts you're not supposed to tell.
Yeah. I mean, just think about, and I kind of gave you an example. I mean, think about how do you put a party together for, Jeff Green, who just turned 36, and a lot of his former teammates and a lot of guys he works out with. How do you pull something off like this? You don't do it unless it's a tight knit group. I mean, literally, everyone that came to that party was from all different areas of the country. Guys came from Denver, guys came from New Orleans, I came from Nashville, Mike came from Ohio, some guys came from New York. It's literally people from all over the country, coming together because we have that that bond that it's a rare bond that you can't experience. It's one of those things like you don't meet too many people walking the streets that played in the NBA. So you get those type of things, and those type of things happen when you want to be able to be around people you can relate to also.
For sure.
That's always a big thing, and what's going on and what they go through and what the wives go through and what the kids go through. So it's always cool to get someone's perspective that's standing on the same stage as you.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it. That's awesome.
Was there a team that you wanted to play for, but never, or kind of almost, were you in talks with some teams? I know Penny wanted you on the Lakers for a little while. Was there ever a team that you were maybe close to playing for, didn't get to, kind of wanted to, or something like that?
I don't think it was a team like that, but you always want to play for like those type of teams. Like you always want to play for the Knicks. You always want to play for the Lakers, or you want to live in LA. Those are the pinnacle places, and that's where everyone wants to play. But I mean, every city has its perks and its benefits and their tradition and rich in culture, and it's all about how the front office is ran. It's all about the ownership. Like, I mean, look what Cuban did with Dallas when he bought that team. That team was whatever, but now look at it. It's a destination. He has a reputation with the players and with the fans and with the NBA that he's going to do what it takes to win. And, it's one of the premier franchises. So you can get that experience pretty much anywhere. But, those teams like Boston and New York and the Lakers, they just had that rich culture and tradition from all the way back, that's you can't replicate.
So, so a dude like Cuban, like Mark Cuban, how do the players kind of receive the way he is? I mean, I would assume that they like it, right? Like, and he's obviously more animated, more involved than most owners would be. How do the players like that? Is it a positive thing? You think they react well? That they want to be there? They want to stay with the franchise? How does that work?
I think it's a positive thing. I like seeing him around all the time.
Yeah.
I like when if you're able to pick up the phone and text him or call him or whatever, and he'll pick up or he hit you back immediately. He's the type of owner too where if you needed something, like we needed some new equipment, or we needed something in the locker room, we needed something on the road, we needed whatever, he was going to make sure he did his best to take care of it. I know one time I think we were complaining about a treadmill and it was gone when we got back from the road trip, and it was a new one right there. And we were like we were halfway joking, but we were going to use the equipment no matter whatever. But he got it out of there, he replaced it. So he's going to get the job done. I mean, he's the type of person that tells you exactly what he's thinking. So I mean, that's always good. You want that, and like I said, personally, I like when the owners are out front, speaking and always, in the limelight, and I like when they get involved with the team, and you could do it the other ways also, but I prefer that. I like that. I think it's cool.
So you're talking about getting in the limelight. Steve Ballmer, same situation, different. I feel like they're two different personalities, but I have to ask. I mean, he's the one that he loves getting in the spotlight and doing things. Steve Ballmer. To
me, it seems like he might be going like, I don't know if it's authentic or not. Maybe that's him. I don't know him personally.
Yeah.
I can't tell you, but he'll get on that front row and go crazy. But I like the things he's done with the franchise. I think they've coaching players, turned that thing around since Donald Sterling, because I mean, he literally, his off court and his racial views and his political views aside, he really didn't want to spend money. That they were always like last and like, I think payroll and all that stuff when he was there. I think he was all about making the dollar.
Yeah.
And when you buy professional teams, it's really not about making money. I think people kind of get, they kind of get misled by that. Oh, he owns the such and such, he's going to make all this money. No, these guys make money off these other businesses, not the professional team. So I think Ballmer's done a good job. He's a lot for me as far as like his personality.
That's what I was looking for. But
yeah, he's done a good job as far as building that team up. But he's, maybe he's just trying to like, ignite the people, and I can't blame him for what he's doing, because he has to do that. They're in the same city with the Lakers. They share the same building, so they have to do those things. They'll never be able to close the gap. So anything he can do to put the Clippers on the spotlight, or prop them up, hey, all power to him.
So this is what I would say to you is, yes, is he a different personality? Absolutely. Does he really care? From the outside, once again, I don't know him as a human being. I do think he cares. And after Donald Sterling, I think he was the perfect fit. Because, yes, is he a quirky guy? Is he a different guy? Yes. But at the same time, I really do think he cares about his guys. I think he cares about the Clippers. I think he cares about making that organization great. And like you said, it's just you can't be the Lakers. So how can you be the Clippers?
Yeah. I mean, I think it starts, and I think they're on the right track. It starts with a new arena. They got to get out of the well, it's not Staples anymore. What is it? Crypto.com, whatever it is.
No, it's Staples Center. It'll always be Staples Center.
Man, I tell everybody that. I said that arena will always be Staples Center to me, no matter what they change it to. But once they gotta get out of there first. That's the first step. Get their own arena, get their own, place to go. And then the next thing is they have a window right now with PG and Kawhi. They got to win a championship to kind of shift that tide. And the window is now. I think the window is the next 2 or 3 years. They got to be able to win a championship to kind of shift that thing. Because, LeBron's not getting younger. their cap situation is not promising. They don't have any, they'll have some cap space coming up in the next couple of years, but they don't have any draft picks or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So the Clippers can do something right now. Obviously, they need to be healthy, but I think the first step is they have to get their own arena to get their own identity. Because when you walk in there, you see all those purple and gold, numbers retired. I mean, it's obviously that place was built for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah. So who is the young team to watch in the NBA? Like we said, we got LeBron getting older, we got the Warriors getting older, and I say that in very, very like shallow terms, considering they just won an NBA championship.
Yeah.
You got the Phoenix Suns. Yes, they have a young core, but you still got CP3, who's your biggest leader. You got all these teams that just seem like they're a little bit older. You got the Bucks, who have a young star, and you got the Celtics. I don't know if you have anybody else that I'm not mentioning. Who is somebody to look
at? I mean, team-wise, you got to look at Dallas because they have, in my opinion, top 2 or 3 player in the NBA.
No, Jalen Brunson's on the Knicks.
Yeah, but Jalen Brunson, yeah.
He's nasty, by the way. That was not a shot at Jalen Brunson. He is like one of the favorite players in the NBA.
Hey, his story is great, man. I mean, from what I think he only wanted like $50 million, and he ended up getting 120 or whatever. Stupid. And in Dallas, I mean, they fumbled that one or whatever. But yeah, so I'm looking at Dallas. Okay. I'm looking at Boston as one of the teams that will be really, really good for the next 5 years. I'm looking at Milwaukee also, even though Giannis is not old, but their core is a little bit older. Mm-hmm. And then short term, Golden State will be pretty good, for the next 2 or 3, probably, maybe 2 years. And like I said, the Clippers, they have a chance to do something. Yeah. Phoenix, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. It's Chris Paul's almost 40, so it's hard for him to stay completely healthy all year, and then it didn't seem like, Aiden and the Suns were on the same page, and it kind of like they got back in the corner to pay him, and you never want to feel like that. Despite what they're saying in the media, it always seems like there's a little tension there. And then you got all these young teams, like Atlanta, they could step up and make some noise. What's Portland going to do with Dame? Do they kind of tear that thing up and redo it? I think the sleeper team to watch, and I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, that probably has some of the top talent in the league is Denver. If they can stay relatively healthy and get a good draw and get a good run, I think they can maybe win the title next year.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
That's a great sleeper pick, man. I mean, Jamal Murray. I know he was hurt last year, but they getting him back. I
got Jokic, who averages 29, 12, 8.
I just saw where Jokic has. I saw it today. He has like 1,000 more passes than anybody in the league. Like he passes the ball 1,000 more passes than anybody, and it's still as efficient as it gets. Brandon, you were. No, my fault. Keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was going to talk about efficiency, but I want you to keep going.
He does. I mean, he does everything. I don't think he cares about scoring either. So
He
just scores because he can score, or but that's not the thing he wants to do. I think he wants to set other guys up. And Michael Porter Jr., if his back holds up for the next 3, 4, 5 years, they can be dangerous. So I mean, they have everything you need to be that next team. They just got to get over the hump. That's what it comes down to.
Let me back up for a little bit because we talked about the Clippers, and I want to talk about like somebody on the Clippers named Kawhi Leonard has basically come out and said that he is only going to play 62 to 82. He's only going to play about 62 of the 82 games, right? Like he's pretty much said that.
Yeah.
Load management, right? Is there something that like from a fan perspective of the league, is there something that we're missing when it comes to load management? Is there something we're not taking into consideration? Are players overdoing it? Are they resting too much, too little? What are we missing about that?
I mean, it's appropriate. It's useful and it's appropriate when needed. He has a lot of wear and tear on his body. I'm talking about from rookie year all the way to now. I mean, he deep runs every year. The Spurs went to the playoffs. They went deep every single year. He has a lot more games on his body. And, some people, and everyone's not made like LeBron. LeBron has been one of the most blessed, physically imposing humans to ever walk this earth. He's only been hurt a couple times. Now he's getting a couple strains every now and then. But, those guys, they got to take care of their knees. And I know Kawhis had a couple knee injuries. So, I mean, it's appropriate. And as long as he's there when they need him, I don't see anything wrong with it. It's from a fan's perspective, it sucks just because you want to see guys play every night. Back in the old days, they were playing 82 and traveling on commercial.
Yeah.
So, we couldn't really complain. It's nothing to complain about. But teams are doing it. Teams are, they want to hold their guys out. So it goes both ways. Yeah. The owners want to keep their guys healthy, but the fans want to see the product on the court. And it kind of sucks when say you guys decided y'all want to go down to Atlanta and watch LeBron play, and he's sitting out because of back-to-back load management or whatever. Yeah, it kind of sucks. That's the only game y'all can go see, be able to see LeBron. Because this is the closest, or down in Memphis, and he's out. Yeah. So it's a tough situation, but at the end of the day, and I hate saying this, the teams do not care about what the fans think when it comes to what they do with their players and how they keep those guys healthy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a harsh reality.
Yeah, that makes sense. What was kind of like of all the different areas and leagues and levels that you played at? Like, I guess what was the kind of the place where you felt the most pressure to perform? Was it the NBA because that it was now your livelihood, your body was your business basically? Is that where was it college? Was it before you got to college? Where did you kind of feel the most pressure? Like, all right, I really got to perform to get to get where I want to go next.
I think, to be honest, the most pressure was probably in North Carolina.
Yeah,
just because you know how it is with those. I'm a consensus top 3 player, whatever. Yeah. You're supposed to go there and dominate. And, I was picked to win freshman of the year, and I was picked, second team ACC, all ACC. You're supposed to do all these things. And because, that step right there, that's the next step to accomplishing all my goals and dreams right there. Yeah. That's, high school was fun, before that was fun. But if I fail in these, like I said, that 9-month spell, if you fail at that, then it's going to damage the opportunity this everyone is telling you you're supposed to be at. So that was probably the most, pressure packed, experience. But as soon as I played that first exhibition game, all that stuff kind of went out the window. Like all the pressure, all the weight, it was nothing. I was like, all right, let's go. I'm ready to go. And that it just flowed from there. It's like a, it didn't, not to say I didn't have my a couple ups and downs and bumps or whatever, but that part right there. After I got over that hump with that, all right, can we do this? Okay, is everything gonna go the way I wanted to go? You just roll with it, and it went the way I wanted it, and then I get to the NBA, and then the NBA is the NBA. I always tell people these young guys, you get in a good situation, you gotta really cherish that, enjoy it, love it. Because I got to the NBA and the coach didn't like the GM, and the owner wasn't ever around, and the team was about to be sold. So it was so much going on, and it was one of those things where strings are being pulled in different directions. So when you get in a good situation, you got to take advantage of it. Especially when you got the front office on your side, and the front office is actually trying to build something instead of we had a lot of little turmoil going on when I first got to Golden State, and it didn't get settled until like when I left. Yeah, that's when they did the sale, and the new owner came in, and they kind of got established, and that's when they got good and made a little run. And Mark Jackson was there, then they fired him or whatever happened to him, and they brought Curry, and the rest is history.
Man. I should have asked this. I should have asked this earlier. On the load management subject, should the NBA shorten the season?
I probably wouldn't do it.
No.
I mean, it's a money thing, man. The bottom line is the financials. if the financials aren't there and you know the league is not making the money that they feel like they need to be making, then there's never going to be any short. I mean, look at they think about putting an in-game tournament during the season. I mean, I'm definitely against that. You know, I don't know what that is. That's whatever. But you see what the incentive is. If you win, each player gets $1 million.
Yeah.
And think about, you know, you're going to have 4 or 5 players that don't even make $1 million on a team. So, you know,
hey, you're going to see the Pacers. Hey, you're going to see the Pacers bubbles come out again.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be crazy. Like, I can't, to be honest, like I said, I'm against it. I don't like, what do you need that for? Let's just play our 82. You know, you play your division opponents 4 times. You know, you play the out of conference guys 2 times and whatever. Like, I can't wait to see how this in-season tournament, you know, is. Like, are the young teams going to go crazy, you know, because they want to get some extra million? You know, are the older veteran teams going to say just tank this, you know, tournament and you know, lose early just because you get more rest? Or how is it going to turn out? Like, how are they going to schedule this thing? Because it can be. You can have an older team or a team that's competitive, you know, win that thing, but are they playing extra games or is it worth even winning, you know? So all those things kind of come into factor.
All right. Who was your favorite player growing up?
I would say probably Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan. That makes sense. Okay, next one. What was your favorite shoe to play in?
It had to be the 2K14 Harajis.
I knew you were gonna say that. Oh, those
had to.
The best shoe, the best shoe ever.
That's the best shoe ever created.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that, man.
Best shoe.
All right. What was your favorite pregame meal? What was your go-to pregame meal?
Wow, that's a good question.
It was always the same. On the road, it was always steak, some type of veggie, and then probably some type of either pasta or mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Easy. Same thing.
All right. What was your pregame playlist? Who was on your pregame playlist?
Man, to be honest, I didn't even listen to music pregame. I would have my headphones in though because I didn't want people to like bother me. So they didn't even know that I wasn't really listening to anything. So I would have my headphones in like this. You know, I'd just be looking, you know, I'd be looking at my phone, I'd be looking at, you know, whatever. And nothing was on it. So I'm hearing everything going on, but nobody's bothering me or distracting me because they think that I'm listening to music.
That's the first time I've ever heard that, Asa.
That's funny.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal.
The universal sign of don't talk to me is put the headphones in. That's the universal sign.
Yeah. And you know, I at one point too, like I go somewhere or, you know, I'm airport, whatever, you know, when there's one of them days I'm just trying to move, keep it moving. I had the earphones in, you know, hey, somebody call your name. I just keep walking. I don't even break stride, you know. So that's how you keep everything moving and progressing, man. You gotta have those tactics.
That is funny, man. That is funny. All right. What was the teams that you played for? What was the best city to be in as an NBA player?
Well, that's cool.
I'm gonna have to say Dallas and Phoenix.
Dallas and Phoenix. Just
because, but both of them were really. I mean, I just love living there. And you know, Memphis was cool because it was right down the street, so right. I was able to, you know, on an off day if I needed to come home. When I had my twins, it was the team made it really accessible for me to get back and forth. You know, I mean, you can go and stay. I really didn't play in a bad city per se. Sure. I had all good destinations.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got a question to interrupt. Is there a bad city in the NBA?
That's a good question.
Yes.
You can say it.
Sacramento is there. You know, I don't like going to Minneapolis because it's always cold. Same for Milwaukee. Cleveland, yeah, same. You know, I like to stay away from those. Detroit is up on the list for the guys, but for me, it wasn't up there because I had family there. So I always had a support system there to come see me, or I can go somewhere to eat dinner. That's about it. The rest of the cities were, you know, pretty good places to go to. You can find something to do. But yeah, those, yeah. You know, I like going to all the Texas cities because it was always warm too.
Yep.
I always felt good when I got off the.
We might have to edit the Cleveland one out. I'm a huge Cleveland Cavaliers fan. I live in Akron right now. I coach high school basketball in Akron. We might have to edit that part out. So just Asa.
If you want to take it out, go ahead, man.
I'm just messing.
All right. Okay. This is kind of
Cleveland has a casino and connected to the hotel.
They do have that.
Hey.
They do have that.
How about that? Everybody that's listening, go to the casino. Dude, I will say this, Brandon, is so the place that I live, I have to talk about this real quick. Ace, you might just have to start this over just for a second. But the place that I live, so I live in a small suburb of Akron. All right. So we're 10 minutes from Akron. It's not like we're outside of Akron. But dude, the people here are phenomenal. Yes, am I gonna probably hate the winter? No question asked. Like, don't pass go. But in my opinion, everywhere is people, and so like there are some great people here. It's similar to Nashville. Like there's great people here. So I will say that I'm going to advocate for Akron and Cleveland real fast. That's all I had to say, Asa. I apologize. Continue your questions, Brandon. I do respect your answers though.
All right, I got two more quick ones. Are you going to do anything outside of basketball? In post basketball, you mentioned a couple business. Are you going to do anything outside of basketball?
I mean, I got the foundation. It's going crazy places that I never thought it would go.
Yeah.
We have all kind of education programs on the side. We do a lot of stuff in community. It's pretty known around the city. But I'm kind of getting into the financial space. And then I'm doing some stuff with the UFC also. So I'm pretty busy. I'm pushing. I'm always working on something, and I got a couple more tricks up my sleeve too that I'll be working on in the future.
Ooh, okay. All right. I got one more. This is going to be a tough one. LeBron or Jordan?
I'm at the point where I'm done comparing like eras.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both the best player in their eras. I would say this though: if Jordan played today, I think he might average 50 a game.
Ooh, wow.
Just because you gotta go. No, it's just the way they played back then. They did not play fast. It was so rugged in the paint. You could put your hands on. The rules are changed these days. You can't touch anyone, so it's different. You can move freely. You can do whatever. You can cut freely. Back then, it wasn't like that, and teams were like walking the ball up the court.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think a team like in, at the peak of like the 90s, I think their offensive efficiency would be like last in the league these days.
Man, Brandon, we could go. I could go on all night. We could go on all night. Nate's got a baby he's got to attend to. I got to do some editing, dude. I would love.
You also got to do some drafting.
And some drafting on my fantasy team. I'll send y'all a screenshot of my roster when we're all said and done.
I gotta see it. I gotta see it.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know for sure. Hey, dude, thank you, man. Everything that you meant to me all the times that I got to work out with you, me in the gym with you, man. You don't know what it means, but it meant a lot. It was one of the highlights of my life, man. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking time. Come on and talk to us, man, and show some love. So I really appreciate it, man.
No, I appreciate you guys, man. This is fun. We definitely we gotta do it again. We definitely gotta do it again.
We will, man. No doubt.
I got to interrupt too. Hey, I know I'm a BGA guy. Please don't hold it against me. You guys won the state championship. BGA did not. I know. But I got to say it was so much fun just watching you when I was a young kid and getting to have an opportunity to even work out with you, whether it was one or two times, getting to hear all the stories from Asa, getting to see you play. Shoot, I remember watching you when you were at North Carolina playing against Tennessee, seeing you guys in that tournament playing. I mean, I've kept up with you your whole career. So, like, having an opportunity to talk to you and just, like, you being the genuine guy that you are, it's just a really cool experience. So I just want to encourage you in that. Whatever life or whatever journey you take in this life, I just know that you're going to be successful. So I really appreciate you coming on.
No, I appreciate you, man. I love it. People always tell me, like, okay, what's going to be your mark? And, people did that for me when I was younger. They kind of pour something into me. So I'm always trying to pour something in the next person, whether I know them or I don't know them, or I meet them at the gas station, or, any type of words or encouragement or whatever. I'm just trying to create some positivity in their life and just trying to, you know, anything I can do to make their day better, man. That's what I want to do, man. So I appreciate you guys, man. I love, like I said, I love it. We got to do this again very, very soon. Can't let it go. Can't let it go too long. We got to get on that home pretty soon.
You're right. And real quick, last thing, Nate, I'm sorry. Brandon, your wife, Tucker, she just came out with an album called Too Close to Home. I've listened to it. It's good. Everybody out there, go listen to it. Brandon, I think my favorite song is To You. I love that song. That was a good one. I listened to the whole thing the other night. Plug your wife's album real quick, man. Is that what you're getting into these days after basketball too?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, too, like I said, Too Close to Home, Apple Music, Spotify, whatever you listen to your platform. I mean, she's been in this for, I don't know, 13, 14 years, and I gotta give her credit because it would have been something I would have quit a long time ago. The music game is not fun. It's not easy. It's not what you think it is. If you're in the music game, you're in it for love, and because you love doing music. So yeah, go check her out. Go check her album out. She has a lot more stuff going on. It's a lot more music coming out too. We just got it locked and loaded. We ready to go. She'll be out in LA in a couple of weeks. Do some content. It's fun. It's kind of fun, you know, sitting on the other side of the ropes and kind of watching this thing grow. So I'm here to support her. You know, we having fun. Now I love it. It's cool to just watch, and you know, I've always been watching my whole life, so it's kind of cool to watch her now and see how this thing goes. But she's doing great. The album's doing well. You know, it's fun. It's a great project. Too Close to Home. Go check it out.
That's it, man. Well, hey, I appreciate it, man. Thank you again. We'll talk to you soon, dog.
All right, sounds good, fella. Have a good one.
From the backbone of the planet Sun.